I'm Teddy, and this is my YouTube final on how we used the biotech lab to focus on DNA profiling and how to find a way to end illegal poaching. Unit 2 focuses on the chemistry of life and how all living things depend on important biological molecules. The 4 macromolecules are carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acids. Each has a very important role. For example, carbohydrates provide energy, proteins help build structures, and nucleic acids, like DNA, store genetic information. Unit 3, Cell Structure and Functions, focuses on how cells keep organisms alive and also how cells contain organelles that each have a specific job. This unit is also connected to the elephant poaching topic because scientists study elephant DNA to learn about elephant populations and to track elephant poaching. DNA analysis can show where poaching hotspots are. Unit 4 is about photosynthesis and cellular respiration. Photosynthesis allows plants to convert sunlight into stored energy called glucose. During this process, plants release oxygen into the atmosphere. Animals, including elephants, depend on plants for food and energy. Cellular respiration happens in the mitochondria and releases energy from glucose so cells can function. This process also produces carbon dioxide and water. Together, photosynthesis and cellular respiration form a cycle that keeps energy moving through the ecosystem. This unit connects to elephants because elephants rely on plants for survival. If the ecosystem gets damaged by habitat loss or poaching, the energy flow through the ecosystem can be affected. Unit 5 focuses on the cell cycle and mitosis, which both are very important for growth and cell replacement. Before a cell divides, its DNA replicates so each new cell receives identical genetic information. During mitosis, one cell divides into 2 identical daughter cells. This process is important because organisms constantly need new cells to repair damaged and old ones. Scientists can also study dividing cells in elephant tissue samples to learn more about elephant genetics and health. This unit connects to our elephant research because DNA is copied and passed on during cell division. Unit 6 focuses on molecular biology, including DNA, RNA, and protein synthesis. DNA stores instructions that determine traits. During transcription, DNA is copied into a messenger RNA. Then, during translation, ribosomes use the mRNA instructions to build proteins from amino acids. Proteins are important because they help organisms grow, function, and survive. In elephants, proteins can influence traits and adaptations. Also, mutations such as point mutations or frame shift mutations can change the DNA sequence and sometimes affect how proteins are made. This unit connects to our elephant topic because scientists study elephant DNA to understand populations, track poaching, and protect endangered elephants. Unit 7 focuses on mitosis, heredity, and genetics. Mitosis is the process that creates sex cells and increases genetic variation. During mitosis, chromosomes can exchange DNA through crossing over, which creates unique combinations of traits. Genetic diversity is important because it helps populations survive and adapt. Traits are also passed down from parents to offsprings through inherited genes. DNA differences can help scientists identify elephant populations and study how elephants are related genetically. This unit connects to our CSI lab because scientists can compare elephant DNA samples using gel electrophoresis. Scientists can trace poached ivory back to specific elephant populations, and overall, genetics help explain inheritance, biodiversity, and how DNA science can help support an end to poaching. Unit 8 was about evolution and natural selection. Species change over long periods of time because certain traits help organisms survive better in their environment. A good example was Darwin's finches. The finches had different beak shapes that would help them survive in their specific islands. If they were to all have the same beak, then some wouldn't be able to eat and would eventually die. The peppered moth is also another example, which showed how environmental changes can affect which traits become more common. This connects to elephants because genetic variation is very important for survival. Populations with more diversity make it easier to survive diseases, climate change, and other threats. Poaching lowers elephant populations, which can reduce genetic diversity and make extinction more likely in the future. This unit explains why poaching elephants is a problem for their long-term survival and evolution. Ecology is the study of how organisms interact with each other and with their environment. There are different kinds of interactions in an ecosystem. Parasitism is when one organism benefits while the other is harmed. Mutualism is when both organisms benefit, and commensalism is when one benefits while the other is unaffected. Elephants are an important part of an ecosystem because they support the carbon cycle by releasing carbon dioxide through respiration. They also changed their environment in helpful ways since they are keystone species. Their tusks can create water holes and shelters for other animals. Their dung also acts as a fertilizer and food for many other organisms. Should elephants be genetically modified to have no tusks to reduce poaching? Even though this could make them less valuable to hunters, tusks are still an important part for the elephant's survival. One important quote from Laudato Si says, "Each year sees the disappearance of thousands of plants and animal species which we will never know." This quote shows how human interactions are harming Earth and causing species to disappear. One example is elephant poaching. People illegally kill elephants for ivory because they want the money. This decreases elephant populations and harms biodiversity. Elephants are important because they spread seeds and help maintain ecosystems. Without them, ecosystems can become unbalanced. This topic also connects to biology. Elephants, like all living organisms, contain DNA inside their cells. Scientists can study elephant DNA to identify where illegal ivory comes from. This helps track poachers and protects elephant populations. Biology also connects through cellular respiration, where mitochondria produces energy for the cells and releases carbon dioxide. This shows how all living things are connected within an ecosystem. Our CSI lab relates because we used gel electrophoresis to compare DNA samples. Scientists use similar techniques to investigate where poaching comes from. By comparing DNA patterns, they can trace ivory back to specific elephant populations. Overall, Laudato Si teaches humans to care for creation and how biology can help scientists conserve elephants and fight poaching.